very good morning to all of you people. Welcome all of you guys meeting off with our day two session of the database management system, aka SQL section. So today we are planning to go through on completing data types. We are also planning to complete on a section known as the language architecture, and also if I time permits I'll be also doing data manipulation language too. I hope all of y'all have created your databases, okay, and y'all are good to go in that. It's better if you guys can do the practicals and keep it in there. Nothing what will happen is, okay, you will be never be able to perform anything. Okay, nothing at least striker because once the database is has been turned off. Right. So with all these regards, okay, we are beginning off with our classroom for today. Other class under data type section. People, those who all have ordered the tute online, okay, you guys will be getting the tute by within today or tomorrow. Okay, hopefully we just posted all the tutes in there. Uh, Colombo students can get it on the Sunday and Monday, respectively at Eduzone and Team Comrade. Kandy people, if you all wish, you all can get the tutes by tomorrow. If you all come to Kandy nang, aniwaranga gandat pulwa. So that's under the database. Okay, tute take update take. Okay, those who all have ordered, pre-order karupuat okkomote. We are just sending in. This tute has all everything. The entire lesson, past papers, model papers, worksheets. Me para worksheet take them overall in terms. Good. So today's classroom, after learning on how to create the database and how to manage and everything in there, we are learning on data types. This is refers to the refers to the type of data, type of data, type of data being entered, type of data being, I would say entered, maybe, yeah, entered. So what type of data do you enter? It refers to as data types. So under data types, we have different types of data. You can enter now. Example for you all to visually show it to you all. What is this type of data entered? And it's like this. Example, it's in this format. Okay, maybe you are storing the age and you're going to store the name. Now when you take it on in here, both of these columns take different forms of data. Age will be a numerical value, whereas a number name cannot be a numerical value. Okay, it has to be a character based value, right? So main make okay, we had the differences. What type of data are you going to enter into the column? So we have to specify that. We have to learn those data of type of data. Number one, we have character types. Number two, we have numerical types. Number three, we have date and time. Number four, we have other. More than 20 to 30 different data types are there. We are not going to learn everything. We will be learning only specifically few. So we have Vacha and Chakila data type dekatino. Now this resembles in Python as string. In Python, we learn something called string. Resemble when something called Vacha and Cha. Numeric nang we have int, float, we have decimal. Okay. For date and time, we have year, date, time, timestamp, right? For other, we have binary, boolean, okay, incha kilagattino, okay. What else we do have? Kilagatot, we do have float, float liwani, okay. We have what else? What else? Apitatino, winner, villa, small int, kila settatino. So hell a lot of data types are there. Okay, if you just go and type in database, data types kila type karat, okay, you get a huge set of data types in there. Example, see this here. Data types kila barano. So we will be not learning. So under character string type cha vacha vitra we learn. We have binary, okay, tiny, B, Bob के लगाती ना. Okay, these are for different data type databases to use करने वा. Not everything is needed for our syllabus. Okay, small int, big int, float, decimal. Okay, make ना हिंड तो गया. See, all these are different types of data types we can assign. Make a mom filter out करला what is needed for your syllabus. I have given it here. So vacha cha, okay, int float decimal, year, date, time span, binary bool, encha, and small int. In this filtering it out, you will be learning about these data type more. Okay, you will be learning about these data type more. What is the first one? The first one is going to be char. Now in char, what happens is it allows you to specify fixed length of characters. It can contain numbers, characters, special characters. These are usually used as a label. Used as a label, Tamai, we use this. Now, these cannot be used for calculation purpose. So you don't deal with numbers in there mostly. But these are used as a label form. Okay, to show something Tamai meva use karani. If I assign char, okay, now how do you assign? We will learn it later how to assign it in there. So we say char kiradala, we say the size. Okay, example, we'll say char and I'll say the size 20. I can also say var char and I can say size. Varcha, the size. So you will have 20 characters. This 20 refers to as what? The number of characters. The size refers to as the characters. We are going to have it. So if you assign cha and vacha, vacha stands for variable character. Okay? It refers to as the variable character. मैं कहता हूँ assign करने भी दिए. Example, I can say name cha 20. I can say department name vacha 20. I'll say student name cha 20. So this student refers to the column name. This student refers to the column name. So we had to say the column name. Hey, this column called as department name stores vacha value, which is it can be anything, and the number of characters there will be 20. The maximum that you can go is 8,000. Maximum number of characters you can go with 8,000. That is for char normally string values and on. Api avilla, okay, you can go for 8,000. But api avilla, since we are using a MySQL database, we go from maximum range 0 to 255. Since the database that we are using is MySQL database, we go for 0 to 255. Depending on different databases, you capacity okay, from time to time it will change. Okay, so then what is the main difference between these two? For an example, let's assume I have assigned char 20 here. Okay, I have assigned var char 20. You will learn later how to assign and everything. Let's assume, okay, I'm entering the data, full name. I'll say Riyas Rushard Kiladana. Okay, I'll say again here also Riyas Rushard. What is the main difference Kilagattat? If I have entered the data called Riyas Rushard, it will assign that the user have entered, okay, 20 characters. What is it? This will be taken 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 12 characters. Did you get the difference? So in terms of memory addressing, memory space, okay, char will give a fixed length of memory space. So a solid memory space 20 characters in a memory space, he will be allocating it. That's char. Vacha is depending on the user's input, the memory space will be allocated. Got the concept? Variable character length and fixed character length, meaning it relates to the data. So memory, sorry, memory. Okay, so if I use char and if I say 20, hey, I'm using 20 characters now, it will be assigned as 20. If I say two characters now, only two characters I can have. I cannot have Riyas Rushard. I cannot have only the word RI. So 200 now, 200 characters has been assigned. Maximum number of characters that can be assigned. Number of characters. Sounds good, interesting, easy. Okay, this is like postpay. This is like postpay package. Mass data use karat natat, you will have to pay it. These are like prepaid packages. Okay, you pay per use. Prepaid call, you put 100 rupees and then you talk for 100 rupees. You put another 100 rupees and you talk that. Postpay again, you can talk as much as possible. Even if you don't talk or not, you will have to pay. Sounds good. Interesting. Thumbs up. Can we have a thumbs up? All good. Good to go. Happy. So that's under. Okay. I'll take a small short notes. Okay. You all can write it down too. I'll share this annotated PDF also in the groups. Okay. Recordings normally I keep it only for 2 days. Okay. Now second day come potatiana because only tute kavala avilla you all can cover up and everything in there. So until you all get the tutes, I'll keep the recordings in there. It was I'll delete it. Okay. Because we'll keep it as a time frame. Nothing you guys will keep on procrastinating and putting it for the next day. Okay, nice. Happy, happy. Let's go for the next one too, called as int and decimal. Okay. The next one is int and decimal. Okay. Int, by default, it used to hold integer values. Int by default, we can consider as this used to store integer value. So how do you say kilagatat int and within brackets, we have to say the size. Because when you are telling column we have to say, okay, this column, we're going to have it. Example, we'll say age int 2 or maybe 5 or 10. So this one says it can hold this amount of digits. This age can hold up to 10 digits. Okay. If you wanted this person only within 100 if you want to write it 2 digits. Okay. You can say 3 digits. This is the maximum number of digits can hold. Maximum number of digits. That's under, what is it? Int. Decimal ki fractional values. Okay. Now, if I write a fractional value, maybe I'll say 53.4567. It's a fractional value. This can be divided into two parts. Okay. Mithana, we call this one as the Mantisa part. Okay. This and this is the integer part. This Mantisa part, I'll call it as the S scale. And this total decimal kilo precision kilo. Okay, make it precision kilo. So if you wanted to enter a fractional number, you all have to say this fractional number stores how many bits the kilo. That's the speciality of this fractional number. In that manner, you can hold it like this. You can say decimal, and then there are 2 factors to be entered. One is the size and one is the S, nothing D. Okay. For an example, in this refers to the size. Precision refers to the size. And this is S. Right? So for an example, may number ekana, for this number, okay, my size and the precision will be, I can say for this number, the size and the precision would be, size will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma, precision would be 4. It has 6 in total size and 4. I can say, hey, I'm going to store the average. This average will have in total 10 digits. Among that 10 digits, it will be having 3 fractional decimal points. It is must to say the size in there. If you don't say, it will come as an error. Because you are going to store a data, okay? You're going to store data into the table. You have to tell the table what type of data it will store, how much it will store. So so here this 10 refers to the total size. This 3 refers to the decimal places. Okay, so मेरे total size है in this the total size is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the Menthiza part, that is this scale, okay, we call it as the decimal. P and S, where P precision is the total number of digits and S is the scale, the number of digits to the right of the decimal place. Okay, so if I assign int, I'll say 20, and if I assign decimal, I'll say 3 comma 4. The average, if I store the average, it will be 34 maybe, but here 34 point, I'm making the make a 4 comma 2 done. So you'll have it like this. That's the difference. So is it must to give the size for int? Yes. So what are the data types we learned? We learned about var and char. Char a character which used to hold data or string values. Variable character depending on the number of input, the data will differ. Okay, the number of spaces, that is memory locations that we are using, will differ. Then we learnt on integer numerical values. Then we learnt on decimal, which will store fractional values. Now, when you're storing the fractional value, you can customize, okay, how many decimal places, what is the total number of digits. That has two parameters, the size and S. Okay, where in decimal, you can say, if I say 4, that means there will be 4 total digits. Among 4 total digits, you will have 2, okay, decimal places. These are maximum and minimum. These are maximum number I can write. You can also write like number like this also. That's also completely fine. Make a 30. Yeah? This is also can be written. Slash and this is also can be written because it can go up to 20 digits now. This can go from maximum 4, minimum 2. Sorry, maximum 4 and 2. Sounds okay? Interesting, nice. Still we are learning. Later we will learn how to implement this. You can code karane kohomada kila balavu. I'm planning to do parallelly practicals. I'll make someone to also do the screen sharing. So I have to go mobile phone screen share karla karande. Mamat meha pathing man teach karana. You will do the practical. The next one is date and time. Okay. So under date time with data types. Check. You can simply say date killer, but remember it doesn't take any input. So that's the thing, eh? Make a date kill nikan kiyanna. Okay? Because you don't say how many characters and everything. You can say year, okay, you can say time stamp. If you say dates, the date will be in this format. Y, year, month, date. If I say date time, it will be y, month, date, space, hours, minutes, seconds. Year will be y, or you can say y. Timestamp के लिए यानी the almost the same part. Date time and date timestamp almost the same part. It's the same exact thing. In timestamp, you can do customization. Month එක first එකට ගන්න පුළුවන්, year එක first එකට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඕගලන්ට ඕන විදිහට කරන්න පුළුවන්. So how do you define the data types? Date, time, years, timestamp. නිකන් කියන්න එච්චරයි. Capital or simple doesn't matter. Sometimes it's better to write in capital because you will have like date, time. You can also format it. You can format it by using your own way. Then make a matter format කරන්න. These are little bit extra notes for you guys. Okay. In case if you wish to format again, you can say something called select to char. Okay, current date. I'll just show you all. Date, month, year as formatted date. So මේ වගේ code එකක් ගහන්න පුළුවන් to do the changes. Like so I wanted to get the date first. I wanted to get the month first. Now you all can do this alteration, but this is extra note for you all. extra වගේ. මෙච්චරට deep යහන්න බයන්න එපා. So what is the difference between timestamp? Timestamp you can do the customization. Here you can enable customization. This one you can customize it in timestamp. You can go in 24 hours, you can go in 12 hours, any customization you can have it in this timestamp. And also you can import current time using timestamp. Import current time and date. ඒකත් timestamping කරන්න පුළුවන්. Was it okay, Arham? Awesome, good. Hyundai, nice. Right. So these are the basic types of data types available. So what are these? Data types well, we have learned on characters nangcha. Okay, numerical values now we can use int or decimal. Float is little bit bigger. So float data type it's like very small or very tiny number float. Okay. Then date and time date, year, time, timestamp, and the other we do have. So we have other data types also, but we don't need to focus because in exam we will only rotate to using these four stuff. Now comes to our SQL language. SQL is a server-based language. You need a server to run this query language because it is being processed by the SQL. So SQL again, basically you would simply tell what do you need it. Simple that is. Okay, you ask a query, you write a query asking, okay, this is what I wanted. SQL will return with that. Okay, the database figure it out how to get the result. So you just say what you wanted. SQL is this allows you greater flexibility in language and more opportunity for SQL language compiler queries to achieve increased performance. Simply, SQL perform under these four operations. We call it as the CRUD operation. It allows you to create, okay, it allows you to read, update, and delete. So may hatarin my entire game goes on, right? It allows you to create, read, update, and delete. So these are the four CRUD operation. You can go through in both the sides. Okay, you can create database or table. You can create data entry or entries. So when you go for these two line, okay, they are coding එක පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් වෙනවා. Okay, if you're going to create a database, we use a term බලන්න මේක තමයි CRUD operation එක. දැන් මේ CRUD operation එකකින් you can create a database නම් we use a command called create. To create a database, we use a command called create. Okay, to create data, that's entries, we use insert. Now, do you know what is data? No. So if you wanted to create this table, may table create karana, the command that we are going to use it is create. But whatever the entry that we are going to write it, CID 012. This is data. Min data insert. If you wanted to read a database, we use a command called use. But if you want to read data, we use select. Capital or simple, doesn't matter. If you want to update a database, we use the word called as alt. Here we use update. If you want to delete the database, we use a word called drop. But in data table, we use the word delete. So we are going to learn throughout in this next part. So CRUD operation, create, read, update, and delete. If you're going to deal with the database, create, use, alt, drop. If you're going to deal with the data, that's going to be insert, select, update, and delete. Make it where statement. Those things also we'll learn. So commands that handles with the data table, we call it as DDL language, data definition language, that deals with the database. Okay, that deals with the database. So what are those languages we learned? Those are create, drop, alter, we have, what is it? Use, truncate. We'll learn this. One by one, we'll learn it. So these are the language that allows you to handle with the database. Data definition language, DDL. DML that deals with the data manipulation language. We have insert, select, update, delete. Then we have DCL, data control language, that allows you to deal with the permission. Now, when you guys entered Manadikandave, when you guys are entering the database, you'll give my name, no, Riyas ICT. You can create user profile, you can give permission, what are the commands he can use, what are the commands he cannot use. Kira, we have to grant and revoke. Kira. These are very rarely exam-based things. Then we have TCL. These are a couple of functions that you can execute. Inbuilt command, commit, and rollback. These are like functions. So DDL, data definition language, DML, data manipulation language, DCL, data control language, TCL, transaction control language. DDL deals with the database. So main language data begin or DDL language, and these are DML language. These details deals with the database, these deals with the data. So the difference. Structure of the table, DDL. Data entry, DML. Did I make it sounds good? Make a man. Some we're going to learn in upcoming classes. Easy. Okay, interesting. Just to know the format. Practical karot it will be there in the head. Nattang practical kare nattang it will not be in your head. Okay, so out of four, which are more system, it's everything to connect it. But they will tell, sometimes they will tell you to create the table. Sometimes they might give the table and they will tell you to deal with the entries. SQL will ahanda puluang, part two will ahanda puluang. So it's fully mixed. The best way to learn is doing practical. Okay. Best way to is do the practical. Ikane mama karna mama kina de avilla wang ehima type karala balanda. That's how you can learn. You don't need to memorize at all. Great. Okay, nice. The full form I have given. Ne? Good. So next one is going to be the structure of your SQL. So when you're going to write the SQL command, කොහොමද ලියන්නේ? SQL is not case sensitive, so you can write it in capital or simple. SQL has couple of components called keywords, identifier, class, okay, and functions, label statement, කියලා ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. So all these commands I'll give it to you all at the beginning itself. Okay, SQL deals with a keyword. When they make the select. So this is a keyword. Can you tell me what type of a keyword is it? Is it a DML or DDL? Is it a select is a command which deals with the database, or select is a command that deals with the data? What is it? It is dealing with the data. එහෙම dealing with the data නම් what type of language is it? DML language එකක් මේක. Right? So it's basically selecting the data. So these are the keywords you come across in terms. Okay, මේ දෙක තමයි we have the keywords. Select is the keyword. And this one we called as a clause. Okay, මේවට කියන අපි filter statement. Filter statement. So you are selecting entries where and order by. Okay, each and every command should end with a semicolon. We call it as the terminator. You have to end with a semicolon. You are selecting these two entries. Memory can be identifiers කියලා. නැත්නම් columns. Identifiers. Now in identifiers in Python, we call it as variables within a columns. So these can be identifiers such as table name. Identifiers can be column name, identifiers like database name, anything. Okay, identifiers only at the end of block. And then the more you give comma, the more you are adding it. Okay, right. This is an expression. When you put equal, that's an expression. Nice. Okay. අපි තව advanced එකක් කියන්න. Again, the keyword. Okay. This one we call it as a function. මේවා අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න යනවා ඉස්සරහට. This is a function. This as statement is called as a label statement. Label statement kill again, you can customize the output. Okay, you can have display output, display again. For an example, you are selecting the name of the table. So you will say the column name, and then you are calculating the average and you're calculating the minimum average. Sorry, minimum year. So min kill again, it will take the minimum and then it will take the year. So year killer column make it, it's taking the minimum value as oldest work. So it will label as something oldest work. Okay, may be class here. Build the statement. What else? Equal out we call it as expression. Okay. We call it as an expression in the this one is a concat. Concat. What do you mean by this concat killing? This allows you to join. Okay, concat killing and join. So what they are telling in here is artist is the table and ID is the column. Artist is the table, ID is the column. Artworks is the table, artist ID is the column. Okay, again an expression. Sound good? Nice. So these are a couple of things you are going to learn. Tama coding ඉගෙන ගත්තෙත් නැහැ, so you have no idea how the coding happens and everything. But then මේක තමයි යන්නේ. Can two people do multiple? Multiple can, no? Okay, who is going to do practicals with me? Multiples can share dual monitor requirement. Okay. multiple participants can share. Who wants to do the practical with me? I'll do the theory here. You guys are going to do the practical. I'll share the annotated doc. Don't worry, okay? Because you don't have the tute now. I'll share this. Good to go. Nice. Anybody who wants to go do the screen sharing? So up here will okay, we'll do half task share the couple on it. Okay, so half to half और practical कर रहे हो. Okay, good. Haifa, you're there. Can you do the screen sharing part? So I will do the coding. You're going to do the practical part. Screen sharing and data plan. If you're using the mobile phone, also completely fine. Even do not disturb dala, and then you'll get calls and everything. Okay, even laptop. Oh, laptop also fine. Okay, see whether you have that permission to do screen sharing. All participants. Mm-hmm. Right. Once after completing it, we are going to go to the first part called as DML. Okay, so not DML, DDL. Ah, it's okay. Code is same nahi. Just show the code. That's it. Ah, hypa. Nothing. It will get confusing there. Anyone else? Anyone else who is having a mobile phone? Mobile phone, it's okay. No problem. That will be also completely fine. Okay. Who is there? Who is there? Who can do the practical? I'll teach you the theory here. So it's half to half. So I'll teach you the theory. Or I'm practical. Come on, guys. No one is there. Seriously. Ladies thing boys gents को set है मैं set class है. Ritika, okay, nice. Can you do the screen sharing then? Anyone can take up and do the screen sharing. A laptop is fine, no problem. Can you do the screen sharing or should I disable it? Malo multiple screen sharing. Pulu on the gila. Tipput good. Half to half. Ito ko na karagin end ko. Advanced sharing है multiple participants can share simultaneously रहती ना. If not, I have to come online. Hold on, these buggers are not coming. Set का ஒரு பாஞ்சால் செட் ఉంది సెట్ அப்படி एक டாட் கீழே இருந்தேன் ஒரே டாட் నే సెట్ मैं பிசு செட் ஆக்கினேன். You can see her screen, huh? Put the kinder. Who is sharing the screen? Anyone else is sharing the screen there? Hold on. How the screen share कर लेती है? Yeah, someone has share the screen there. Hold on. Okay. No. Put the kinder. Not a paid name. Not a paid name. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Vinaditender. 831 727201 8310. Okay. I'll come online. We'll see. 223649. Okay. So I'll do the screen sharing part. Let's assume. Table plus. Put that in there. I'll use my computer itself. So you will be getting one screen sharing from this. I am correct. Yeah. I'm sharing my screen from this side. So we are using the table plus. So we are into the database. So I'm using Farade one. I'll use mine. Yeah? So I'll Maestro. Check. Done. Save. Open. Connecting to the database. SQL. Nice. So here only I'm going to do the practical part here. Meanwhile, can I also share the screen? So my question is, do you all see two screens right now, side by side? Then at the pane. Can you all tell me? Is it like I'm sharing both the screens right now? So you see on one side the practical like screen nikai. You all see side by side. Ah, okay. You all can switch the. Ah, right. Okay, done. We have to click which screen we want. Ah, okay, done. I know. Protect it. I'll make a leave. Okay, it's all right. Apiamu. Patanga natang make a bala in half an hour. Okay, okay, right. So next thing we are going to go through is going to be the command. Now these are addition, subtraction stuff. We will learn in the middle. In the middle of the code, we'll start to learn throughout India. So let's go into the command called as DDL. So today I'm planning to finish up to DDL. That will be good. Okay, DDL like hari varakal denna. So that's what we are going to go through. So you all can do the practicals on your own. So under DDL, what are we going to do it in here is, okay, Balamum, I can, if I can do screen sharing, hold on, table plus, oopsie. Okay, under DDL, okay, okay. So under DDL, that is data definition language, this language deals with the database. So this language deals with the database. That's the thing. Okay. So you guys also can do the practical along with me. So it has only 4 commands to learn: create, drop, alter, truncate. So we'll come for that truncate in a while. So the first command is show databases. The first command that we go through is show databases. So if you use a command called as show database, what will happen? Here, you will show all the upcoming databases in terms. So it's easy. I'll do both sharing. The first command is show databases. When you're writing the command, you can write it in capital or you can write it in simple. It doesn't matter. Even if you write it in capital, it doesn't matter. Even if you write it in simple, it doesn't matter. End of the command, make sure you put a semicolon to end that entire command and you can click run and the command will be executed. It takes for a long time. And then you can see, hey, we have almost 50 different databases are there. So it will show all the databases which is running. That's the first command. So you'll have to also do with me. Okay. If you'll have understood, just click click. Sir, so this is the practical and below I'm doing the next command is create a database called create database DB. I'm going to create a database called school. So I'm going to say create database. Normally, up here with the keywords avilla capital use karla. Identifiers up here with simple use karna. So I'm going to create a database called school. Now you guys don't use a school, you all use your own databases in there. Now among 50 databases, we have to select this database. So you can use a command called use and you say school, which means what? Use the database name. So you say use the database. What will happen? This will go inside Nattang. This will allow you to select the database what you have created. This way you can show all the databases Let's create a database called school. Perfect. A school database will be created. And then the third command, use, what is it? School killer keyword. This will select the school database. You can delete if you wish to. ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. මේක තිබ්බත් එකයි නැතත් එකයි. ඒ command එක විතරයි අපිට ඕනේ. So we have this school database. Sounds good. Interesting. So these are the commands we have. Okay, make it time spend. Let's go over the next one. Inside the school database, you all can create what? Table. If you wish to create a table, you go with this command. Create table name. We have to say what is the table name, open brackets, and then you have to say the column name, data type size, and a constraint. What are these constraints we have? We'll talk about that in a while too. All the constraints you all have to tell it also. Is it a primary key? Is it a foreign key? Or you can leave it without telling a constraint also. Doesn't matter. Okay. And then each and every column, new column should have a comma except the last one. So this comma kiyanne new column ekak. If there is no comma, there is no new column, you have a closing bracket and a semicolon. Before learning on there, we know about table, we learned about data types, but we didn't learn about constraint. Under constraint, we have different types of constraint too. Number one, we have primary key constraint. Okay, simply you can say primary key, and you can say column name. Primary key, column name, uniquely identify in there. Primary key, and you can say column name. Or else we'll go with the column name type again. I'll say student ID, data type integer, and I'll say primary key. This way you can give a primary key. Simple as it is. You can also say that, hey, student name is not a primary key, but then it is unique. So can I give unique and primary key? No problem. You can say unique. So if you say the constraint called primary key, it will become primary key. If you say it's unique now, that means what? The user cannot have duplicate entries, but not a primary key. Just remember that also. Then we have something called as the default constraint. What do you mean by the term called as default constraint? This happens when the user don't enter the data. If the user didn't enter the data, it will take the default constraint. Example, you can say city as the column, varcha 20, and this will take the user the city details. If the student has not entered the city now, okay, if the student has not entered the city now, you can go into default constraint and you can say, hey, this is going to be not selected. Or we can say, yeah, city not selected. So what do you mean by this is set as a default when no value is given. So if the user, okay, didn't give the value, what will happen? The system will take it as not selected. So you will have empty name. You will have what? Okay, not selected. So you won't have an empty value. Next one, you can say not null. What do you mean by not null? It cannot be empty. Not null can be given, but with a small space. Not null. What is the student ID? Column name, data type, constraint. Column name, data type, constraint. Column name, data type, constraint. Default inverted commas because it's not a keyword. If you put it like this, it will take it as a keyword. But this is not a keyword now. So make sure you put it within inverted commas. Then we have foreign key. So how do you write the foreign key? You want to link it. Hey, this is a foreign key. Come the link around. So we say the syntax, foreign key. We say the column. references, okay, table, column. අහගන්න නැත්තම් පාටලයේ okay, dump එකක් ඔය කොහෙවත් අහගෙන ඉන්න එපා focus here නැත්තම් you are learning a code no, so මේක තමයි syntax එක. For an example we'll take in this scenario student table එකේ student id is there, okay, and then you have the course id. In this student id is the primary key, but this course id comes from the course table called as course id. Now this course id here is a primary key, but when it comes to here it's a foreign key. When it comes to here it's a foreign key. I wanted to say that this course id is a foreign key. I wanted to say that this course id is a foreign key because it came from this, from the course table. So how do you say it in the terming කියලා ගත්තොත්? We say foreign key. You can write capital or simple, doesn't matter. How will be the syntax? Foreign key. I'm going to say, hey, my CID is a foreign key. References, please refer the table course, aka course ID. Foreign key, references, in what in table? In course table, course ID. You can also say parent table. Parent table primary key. Because you link it no primary key. Okay. So what are these we are learning right now? We are learning on the rules that you can apply when you are creating a table. One of the rules that you can apply is a primary key. So how do you say a primary key? Simply the word primary key. Here you can also give a composite primary key. How can you give a composite primary key? If you say primary key column 1, column 2, it will become a composite primary key. Example, a primary key. So you can say primary key. I can say student ID, payment ID. This will act as a composite primary key because you have joined two things together. This will act as a composite primary key. There is no rule, capital or simple. You can write everything in capital, okay, or everything in simple. Usually, when you do practicing, we use the keyword in capital and we write the identifiers, all the others in simple. We follow this command. Anything else? So is this an entity constraint? This is an entity constraint. We learned in our last class what is constraint rule. Today we are learning how to apply that rule. Okay, Zakia, so can you explain about unique part? Unique part normally you can't have duplication. Now primary key usually cannot be null and cannot have duplication. But you want the student names should be unique. Or you want the city to be unique. You want the project name should be unique. You can't have duplicate names. So you can apply a rule for the table telling that, hey, this project name or this student name cannot be unique, must be unique. You cannot have project name. Project name is a good name. Project name must be unique. So what do you mean by this? Okay, the user, okay, cannot enter duplicate values. So you are giving rules. Emana, api keyword deka capital demo. Identifier simple demo. That's good. Balanda. So you have like separate a lesson to pay no balanda. Balanda method table name and all those things. I gave that constraint in capital, so it's visible for you all. I said you all again. SQL can be written in capital or simple, doesn't matter. Don't confuse with the capital and simple thing. Okay, then the haparakoi kila tunna. Again, capital simple thing is not for the SQL. It's you can write it in anywhere. Why did I write it in capital simple? So that you know, okay, this is the keyword, okay, this is the command. So another mari. Ogalam patala gandepa. I'll tell it again. Practical kare na tampute hariyanne. You can't memorize everything. A student messaged me. Okay, past student ki message karla. Past student, nahi, there was not a student at all. She was not my student. Okay, she has been going for class somewhere kila. And then that student came and said, sir, we did completed programming. I was like asking, when did you all complete? So last 2 days only. That sir has taken 2 days and finished entire programming. I'm just imagine, okay, seriously, what we do. Okay, last moment, okay, not teachers loco. Okay, who completed programming in 2 days. Default always should be right, not selected. You can give anything. You can give any word you wish to. Another example. I'll give another example also. Default ke liye kya hai, what is the word that I have to follow? I'll say course. Course is not selected. Good. Course not selected. Default ke liye when the data is not being entered. Api vinega gamu ko. Api gamu project. Project number. Vacha 20. If the project number is not given, we can say not assigned. Okay, so what will happen? If the user didn't enter the project number, he doesn't know the project number can go. So what will happen? Automatically, the database will store it as not assigned. Clear now the concept again. Okay, so basically you can give anything you wish to. Put number at the puluang like a default. Mehimanatta mehim. Okay, take a time and do the practicals also. Next, I'll teach you how to create a table. So we are still going with the constraint now. That's good in one side that I have started the SQL now itself. If not, you are the ones who will be feeling it difficult. Last moment, okay, rush ke karande no. So not select is like displaying statement, there is no value in it. No, Raja. When there is no value, okay, not selected value will be entered. Not assigned value will be entered. What it says in reading, sets a default value. What do you mean by the term value? Value එක වෙනයි display එක වෙනයි ඈ. Value කියලා කියන්නේ an entry for a column where no value is specified. Read it in that way. Sets a default value. නැත්නම් data. Sets a default data for a column when no data is specified. තේරුණාද? Easy. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Questions under. Okay, nothing you guys will never learn. Questions under. I'm reading. Even if I scold you, no problem. Okay, I'll still explain you all the doubts. So can we do these changes without selecting the table? We using the select command. No, pa. Select is for different. No. Select is for what? Select is for data. Now we are learning not on data. We are learning on table creation. So we are learning on how to create the table, how to create a database. So first we learned on how to create the table. Now we are learning on how to create the database. Okay. Abhiyamu. Next one, check constraint. Now, hope you all have finished. Check constraint that is you can filter and take the data. Ensure that the values in a column satisfy a specific condition. So when you are entering the data, you can go on a basic check constraint. Age is a column, int 20 will say. Age is a column that has an integer 20. Okay, here I'll say check. Does the age is greater than 18? Age is a column where the user is entering. So age is a column with an integer value. And I wanted to check whether does the user has entering the data greater than 18. If the age is not greater than 18, you can't enter the data. So shall we go for another one? Full one. You can have a city. City is Varsha. Let's assume. I'm going to check whether the city the user is entering, is it equal to Kandy. Kandy unat vitara, he can enter the data. Ema Kandy natta, he can't enter the data. Did you get the concept? So only people who are in Kandy can enter the data. I'm just filtering. So you have to filter it out. Check city equal Kandy. Got the concept? The concept. So you filter it out in terms. Perfect. Anything else? Anything else? Nice. Auto increment is also a feature. We don't normally use it much, but this can be set to increase the value by default. Auto increment or the pulva. Example, okay, student ID now that student ID, it's an integer value with 10 values now. Let's assume, okay, this is auto increment done. So I have to say what is it? And this is a primary key dala. And I'm saying auto underscore increment. So what will happen in this manner is you don't need to enter the data. The system by default will take the student ID. So it will start to do the student ID automatically. So you can exclude by entering. So you can say the user don't need to enter the student ID. It will take automatic. Now, for an example, then when you guys are filling your admission number, let's assume when you guys are applying for the exam application, admission number it was generated and given to us automatically. So that generation of automatic is auto increment. Code auto increment. That's the reason we got our admission number, okay, generated by the computer automatically. So here what happens is the student ID will be generated automatically and that will be set as a primary key. If you wish, you can say primary key, you can say not null, unnamed, then the says primary key is must. I think for auto increment, primary key is must, no? Yeah, primary key is must. Our primary key where the auto increment then. Good, good, good. So now we learned on how to specify the constraint. So will you show the practical? So will you show us the practical today? Yeah, I'm doing the practicals, no? मैं practical करना है. Half to half practical करना. Show the existing tables. So I'll use a command called show tables. Tables, no? Tables. Let's do the practical. What is it? Show table. Put the connection is closed here. Amazon use करो Maestro ना school use करो ना. Okay, now fine. Why? Okay, okay. Show tables. Hurry. It at the moment it shows that there is no table in school database. Why? Because we didn't create it yet. Hurry. Okay. Why? We didn't create it. Understood? अब तो हमें create करना है. So let's learn to create it. Okay. Table description. Let's describe the table name. Okay. Let's create a course table. हम मेथन type कराना इंटरप्रेट से let's see. Create. हम make a keyword देगा हम capital लिया ना. So it's easy for you all. If you wish, you write it in simple. Doesn't matter. What is the table name? Course table. Right? We open a bracket. You can keep continue from here. But then visibility purpose in the next line you know. Course ID. Capital or simple. Course name. Duration. What is the second statement I have to write it after the in the column name? The data type. Can you suggest me a suitable data type for course ID? Mariam, what is it, ma? Any suitable int? I'll say 10. Course name, varcha, ocha, 10. Duration, it will be 5 months, 6 months, annevagi. So you got int the anne apinata vacha another. Ocha another. Anything. Cha or vacha is then completely fine. So apita make a regular kila nani. Sabi unang api yang, what is it? Okay, maybe I'll say cha. Yeah, I can say. Duration time போட்ட ஏலேப்பா. Now duration என்ன store பண்றாங்க? 3 months, 6 months, okay, 12 months. Do we store the date and the time, idiot? Okay. பிசு மீ சட்டையாக்கப்பா. Okay, so அதுல வந்து 20 போடும். சரியா? So each and new column should end with a comma. Each and new column should end with a comma except the last column. ඊට පස්සේ bracket එක දාලා close කරනවා. මෙහෙම ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. මට ඔක්කොම මෙහෙම ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. Doesn't matter. Okay, ප්‍රශ්නයක්ම නැහැ. But this is no visibility at all. See, if I write everything in one single line, is it visible? Visibility එකක් නැහැනේ. ඒකින්ද තමයි මම ලස්සනට okay space එකක් තියලා next line එකේ ලියලා again next line එකේ ලියලා making this more visible. This is creating a table without giving any primary key. Okay, this is creating the table without giving any primary key. After creating the table, we wanted to add the primary key, so that is updating the table. We use a term called alter table. What is the table name? Course. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to add the primary key. What is it? I'm going to say course ID. This statement allows you to add the primary key after entering the table. Assume you have forgotten to add the primary key. Okay, you have forgotten to add the primary key. එතකොට මේ command එකට යන්න පුළුවන්. Create table course ID int size. So මෙතන මුකුත් constraint දීලා නැහැ. In this example there is no constraint. Primary key, foreign key, ඒ මුකුත් දීලා නැහැ. Constraint මුකුත් දීලා නැහැ. Okay, මෙතන මුකුත් දීලා නැහැ, specially constraint. So this is simply creating the table only with the column and අර මට්ටමන table one create பண்ணி அது உப்புறம் we have the alter table here. Done. Any questions? Next one, මම ඒක මේකෙත් ලියන්න. Right. පුළුවන් නම් මේකේ code එක මට ලියන්න පුළුවන්ද? Anyone who can do a screen sharing and try this also. This is create a table with the primary key. Create what table? Create student table with a primary key. So we'll create that. Here you don't need to use alt. Why? Because you know that you are creating the primary key. Create table student ID int 20 primary key. බලන්න ලස්සනට දෙන්න පුළුවන් primary key. If you want to make it null, make it as not null. If you want to make it as a unique, you say not unique. Student name varcha 20, age int 20, telephone number you will have 10 digits, telephone number int 20. Okay, good. And then finally city varcha, I'll say 20. This table doesn't need alt command. Why? Because while creating the table itself, I started entering. Okay, while creating the table itself, I started entering the primary key. But in the previous example, I forgot to enter. So we have these two answers.
degree ball couldn't burn.
So why can't we use cha? You can use either way, pa. Using vacha will save memory. You can use both. Cha or vacha doesn't matter. I'm using both, no. When you know the difference between these two, that's it. You can use cha or vacha, doesn't matter. अभी गुडक में vacha use करना because it will only store what you have entered data in terms of data. It won't store unnecessary everything, whatever you have done. Shall we try a practical? Anyone who wish to also share the screen and do the practical? Anyone would like to do it in practical in terms? No, shall I do it? Shall I share it in pop screen? Ah, no problem. Haifa, you have done everything. Have you connected the database and everything is done? Ah, okay. So let's see. Haifa, can you do the screen sharing? We'll do it. I'll see in here. Okay, nice. So, okay. Okay, good. So let's see. Ma, abadi lural thane. We have to write it below nicely. Pallatali end up cover. Okay, அதெல்லாம் ஒன்று கிளிட்டு போகணும். Okay, create table. இப்பதான் படிச்சு படிச்சு சொன்னேன் கொஞ்சம் அழகா எழுவுடா கீழே 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 கீழே. Keep a space. So it will be visible. See, no one can see. Keep a space there. After primary key, put a in place center. Take it down. Enter, enter, enter. அதே மாதிரி அடுத்தது எடுங்க. ஒன்று எடுங்க. அடுத்தது எடுங்க. Now see, it's more visible, no? So this way you have created. Right. Can you run the command? Click run. Let's see what is happening. Did you already executed it? Okay. Did you type run? Click run, will you? Let's see. Put that in there. Did you run the command? Ah, yes. Ah, okay. Then now after below, we wanted to see the table that you have created. Take another new line and type what command to show the tables. Simply show tables. Show tables, semicolon, and run that command. We'll see. So it shows that Haifa has created a table called student. See? Then you can also see the table description. You can see a table description by there is another command. That's also we will be learning next. Okay, take a new line and type DESC and then type your table name. What is the table name? Describe the table name. What is the table name? Student. And then run that and see. See here. கொஞ்சம் பெருசாக்குங்க இன்னைக்கு. இது பாருங்க. It will tell everything that you have done. एक फोड्डा करा output एक फोड्डा look करना है. You can drag it sideways little bit. Yeah. கொஞ்சம் drag பண்ணுங்க. See, student ID int not null primary key name vacha. See, you have not given default constraint also. So it's there. This is we call it as the table description. Okay, you can describe the table in there. What you have entered. Description के लिए क्या नहीं. These things you come across when you do practicals only mostly. Then आप एटीट्यूड के I have given a huge worksheet. Thank you, Haifa. Okay, for that work, yes. Let me show you also replace the current screen. Okay, thank you, Haifa. Okay, now here balada tute take the way I have structured the tute, I'll show it to you all. Balanda balanda pulo. My tute take okko mangitane. Ape tute we have around 160 pages in there. There is a separate section called as what? SQL. There's a separate worksheet for SQL. What we can do it is everything is there for you to create the table, for you all to add the primary key, make up take a link under everything you can do it in hand in practicals. Over more than 100 questions are there. Make ogalang iking last create the database, rename the database, add the primary key, create branch table, enter data, give these link, everything. So in the worksheet, I have given everything. Okay, so we are moving on to the next one. We'll finish off with this. Okay, next one is going to be what is it? After creating the table and the database. Okay, we go into the next command called as create a composite and foreign key. Let's see how to create a composite and foreign key. Now, composite is, let's see, create table. Okay, what is the table name? Enroll. SID, OID, and date are the three columns we have. Now, what are the columns I have created? Student ID, course ID. No, so I'll write it fully. Student ID, api fully then done. Here, pate dunne ko then done and date. Student ID, I'll say int 20, int 20. Right. I can give something called primary key. Primary key. I can say, hey, this is a primary key. This is a primary key. Another way of writing it, you can also say rather than telling primary key twice, you can say primary key, student ID, comma, course ID. Mehimat kiyanna pulu. So what will happen here? In this, you will take it as a composite primary key. So this way, we generate a composite primary key. Date, you can say date, date time. Then the next part is, this is on primary key, composite primary key. So I'll mark it in red color. This is how do you make the composite primary key. Next one, the foreign key. Now here, if you take it on in this case, this table has two foreign key. This one came from student table. This one came from course table. So dekimmawa. So how do you say date time? We have to say it in this form. Foreign key, I can use capital or simple, doesn't matter. I'll use capital so that it's highlighted up in all under. What is my foreign key? My student ID is a foreign key. From what table? References. From what parent table? What is the parent table in there? The parent table is student table like a student ID. What is my parent table? Student table like a student ID. Come on. Another foreign key. Innunda. Yes, what is that? Course ID. Put brackets. What is that? Course ID. Okay, nice. What table? References. Again, capital or simple, doesn't matter. I'll write capital so you know, okay, this is the keyword, this is a identifier. Post ID. Last column will not have, last entry will not have a comma. Did I make sense? This is how we add foreign keys. Make it our constraint. Even if you forget to edit, you can edit using this way also, doesn't matter. If you forget to add, you can edit in this way. So this to add foreign key. olam if after writing or something olam make a composite primary key. Make a or learning online is the best because share half of these are screen sharing. Haifa, try and see. However, but in order to do it, you need to create both the table. Both enroll table එකත් හදන්න ඕනේ. No, you have to create both student table, course table separately. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි මේක හදන්න ඕනේ. Foreign key පොඩ්ඩක් කචල් වෙනවා because ඒකේ නැත්තම් now if you have given their vacha and here if you are giving int foreign key හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. So you have to update and go through. No, no. So do I have to share the screen? No, first do it. Karana, I'm Karana. So why didn't you put a constraint in date and time? Because it doesn't have no any constraint. There is no rule, no. Date is the column name. Date time is the data type. I don't need to give any constraint. එහෙම දෙනවනම් මොනවද constraint එකද දෙන්නේ? Separately should create a course table, student table, then only should run it. Yes. First create the course table, then create the student table, then create the enroll table and give the foreign key. Happy, good. This is again this is again on foreign key, that is after creating the table. If you wish to give it, you can use. Now for an example, you forgot to add the foreign key and go. You can go for this command. Okay, you forgot to add it. Also you can go for this command. This is alternative command. Okay, next in that manner, we are moving across the adding a column. Let's assume we forgot to add a column. So you can add a column. Let's assume in course table, we wish to add the column. So you can say alter table, course table, like add karna. Add, what is the column name? I can say fee. Fee is not added. Fee int 20. If you have any constraint, you can add constraint also, doesn't matter. Constraint තිබ්බොත් add කරන්න නැත්නම් ignore කරන්න. I want to delete the same column. Okay, so you can say alter table course. Drop, what is the column name? Drop column. What is the column name? Fee. Again, capital simple doesn't matter. Okay. Normally keywords tikapi capital dala variable names, table name, column names tikapi avilla mostly mama mostly if you take it on, we put it in simple capitals. So add column fee column name kilenan add, just say if you see it fee it will add a column. You don't need to say add column name. Can don't ne? For but dropping the column you have to say because you can drop the column primary key foreign key or comment of card. Yeah, right. Let's go for the next part, which is going to be remove a primary key. So let's assume we have a primary key here. Alter table will say course table. Okay, you want to give the primary key. Now there is a problem when you give the primary key dropping part. If you have already given a foreign key now, podda kachal veno, eka podda balagin because now foreign key eka teen kota if you try to drop the primary key, it will create an error. So एक product issues एक practical करना कोटे you will have figure it out. एक theory एक इच्छा issue एक आपने है, but then एक practical लता इंतु वारम. So in Android, where do you start to type the code? You have to type it in remote DB. Query sections लिखिए. Drop the table. You wish to drop the table. Drop table. You can say simply course. You can drop the database. Drop database. School. Okay. Semicolon, whatever we have. Truncate table this will data, it will delete the entire data and keep only the table itself. Now let's assume that this course table has all details. Now the student table has all details. What if you use truncate table, what will happen is it will delete all the entries and keep only the table. Like reset karna hogi. So the statement used to delete all the data in the table, okay, and not the table itself. So if you use a table in this format, and let's assume we have a truncate table in this form, let's assume student ID, name, age, and everything. You're just entering a couple of data. Age. So we have entered all the data in there. After using the truncate table, the table will become empty. But the table will be there, the data will be deleted. It's like delete all. This is similar to delete all, but tables will be still available. Remember. Okay. Mm. Okay. Next one. Alter the table, modify the table, maybe in terms of a data type we wanted to modify. So alter table, we can say post table. I wish to modify the entries. Me okkoma access dila තියෙන්නේ everything is given in detail. ලස්සනට දීලා තියෙන code එක. ඔයාලන්ට නිකන් කරන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Let's say you want to modify the data type. So you can say column. I wanted to change the fee. I wanted to change the fee from int to varchar. Or maybe I want to change the fee to int to varchar. So what will happen is this will be updated. You can also rename it, the fee as payment kila maru karana. That is rename column fee to payment. So what will happen? The new name will come. We'll do a practical at once and last again antimity practical at karamo. Then you can use a single line comment by using hyphen. Single line comment. You can say drop database command. It's a single line comment. If you wish to have a multi-line comment, okay, that is for multiple lines, if you are going to give a comment, / asterisk multi-line comment. You can have asterisk and a / example. You can say like this. This command used to enter values. So it's a multi-line command. Multiple line. This is a single line command. So showing an error, put that in one pen foreign key. Create table enroll student. Ma commas potilla raja. Yare haifa. Commas nahi potilla foreign key. Allah, I also have not put. Comma. Each and every column should end with a comma. No, that's very prachina. Commas darane. That's the issue. Guys, add a comma here also. Commas. Happy? Understood? Clear? All good to go. A single line comment, multi-line comment. Should I do the practicals or else you guys good to go in there? Walang karna ada. How do you all prefer? Practical in the sense I'll be typing the same command only. Nothing else. एक बंदा type करने दी है. So multiple primary keys define kila pena no. Oh yeah, yeah. Error. Okay. Abhi practical like karum can you high referential constraint with right. This of course under foreign key it's okay. But then Haifa, can you show it to me? Show me the command. Okay. Multiple primary keys defined. Take these two because foreign keys may be there. Okay. What you do it is remove those two primary keys. Okay. Right. Okay. And then add a new line. Okay. New line at the primary key kilodala separate composite on kudu. Mele. Line number 23 la mari. Nadula somewhere. Yeah. Primary key enter primary key student ID comma course ID. This statement doesn't work with that. So bracket lo podunga. So this will create a composite primary key. I hope you have created the course table correct and student table was already there. Now run it. Fail to open the reference student table. Foreign key cannot be parented. Okay, show me the command for student table. Paranga, you have created the table called students in line number 17. But in line number 25, you are saying student. So make it a student. Students. Okay, now. The physical class is అడ్డిపట్టు తలే తిండి పెన్ okay now okay fine okay happy done hana ideta vedamulu okay okay so make a tamai we come across under the command all good nice okay delete and alter you all can try those also happy thank you pa okay make a thick. I will also end up in there. This is under referential action. This is an extra note for you guys, which I'll be doing it in our next class and we'll continue in terms. Now you all have a work that you all have to do these commands and see by yourself. Command balanda. Start doing the work. Start working also. If not, you will be not able to go through. This is of course an extra reading note, referential action. This is when you're giving the foreign key. You all can set some rules and regulations too, which we will be also going through in the next class. And next class, we will learn on how to insert data to the table. I hope you have understood everything in there. Okay, any questions? Allah take care. Have a nice day. Okay, this recording also will be shared in Zoom. Bye bye. Have a great day.